Imagine this scenario. It is the spring of 2026. You walk into your local John Deere dealership. You've had a good harvest, maybe the best in years, and you are finally ready to replace that old 9R tractor that has been giving you trouble. You walk up to the new model. It looks powerful. It looks efficient. But then you look at the price tag, and your stomach drops. 81,000,000. A year ago, that same machine was $700,000. You look at the dealer, a guy you've known for 20 years. He looks tired. He looks embarrassed. He shrugs and says, "I'm sorry, Bill. It's the tariffs. It's the surcharge. My hands are tied." You walk out of that dealership, not with a new tractor, but with a sinking feeling in your gut. You realize something terrifying. The rules of the game have changed, and you are the one paying for it. They told us the trade war would bring jobs back. They told us tariffs would punish the companies that left. They lied. The tariffs didn't punish the corporations. They punished you. Welcome to the reality of the 2025 equipment shock. This isn't a story about politics. I don't care who you voted for. I care about your profit margin. I care about whether your farm will still be in your family's name 5 years from now. Today, we are going to talk about the loyalty tax. We are going to talk about how the trade war is silently bankrupting the American heartland. And most importantly, I am going to give you a survival guide. Because if you don't prepare for what is coming, this inflation wave won't just hurt your wallet. It will wipe out your equity. The math of betrayal, how tariffs hit your wallet. Let's get straight to the ugly math. When Donald Trump threatens a 200% tariff on John Deere for moving production to Mexico, it sounds tough. It sounds like he is fighting for the American worker. But let's play this out in the real world of economics. If John Deere faces a 200% tax on every tractor they ship across the border, they have two choices. Choice A, they stop selling to the US market from Mexico. Choice B, they pay the tariff and pass the cost on to the consumer. Now, think about it. John Deere is a publicly traded company. Their loyalty is not to Moline, Illinois. Their loyalty is not to you, the farmer who has bought green and yellow for 3 generations. Their loyalty is to their shareholders. So, if they choose to keep manufacturing in the US to avoid the tariff, their costs skyrocket because of the steel and aluminum tariffs we discussed in previous videos. If they move to Mexico and pay the tariff, their costs skyrocket. Either way, the cost of the machine goes up. And who pays that difference? You do. This is what I call the inflation multiplier. A tariff is a tax, and corporations do not pay taxes. Consumers pay taxes. When you buy that combine, you are paying the steel tariff. You are paying the aluminum tariff. You are paying the political risk premium. It is baked into every bolt, every tire, and every microchip. Analysts are projecting that agricultural equipment prices could rise by 15% to 20% in 2025 alone. For a grain farmer operating on razor-thin margins, that is a death sentence. It means you have to work 2 extra harvest seasons just to pay off the depreciation on your machinery. It means the break-even price for your corn or soybeans just got higher. And here's the kicker. While your input costs are exploding, global commodity prices are softening. Brazil is harvesting record crops. Russia is flooding the market with cheap wheat. You are being squeezed from both sides. This is the math of betrayal. You stayed loyal to the brand. You stayed loyal to the land. And in return, you are being treated like an ATM machine for a trade war you didn't start. The ghost town effect, rural economy collapse. But the pain doesn't stop at the dealership door. It ripples out. It infects the entire rural economy. Let's talk about the ghost town effect. When a major manufacturer like John Deere or Case IH pulls back, or when high prices kill demand, dealerships start to close. We are already seeing consolidation. Small, family-owned dealerships are being bought out by massive corporate chains or private equity firms. Why does this matter? Because that local dealership was an anchor for your town. It sponsored the Little League team. It employed the best mechanics in the county. It paid property taxes that supported your local school. When that dealership closes, or becomes just a satellite office for a conglomerate 3 counties away, the money leaves your community. The mechanics lose their jobs. They move away to find work. The local diner loses customers. The housing market in your town starts to soften. This is the connection between big iron and real estate. For many of you watching this, your wealth is tied up in 2 things: your land and your equipment. If the local economy collapses because the jobs have left, who is going to buy your land when you want to retire? Who is going to buy your house? We are looking at a potential 10% to 15% correction in rural residential real estate in areas heavily dependent on manufacturing and agriculture support services. This is not fear-mongering. This is what happened in the Rust Belt in the 1,980 seconds. And it is happening again in the Farm Belt today. The ghost town effect is real, and it is being accelerated by policies that make it too expensive to do business in rural America. The used market bubble. Now, let's look at the second part of your wealth. Your machinery. Here is a strange paradox of this crisis. As new equipment becomes unaffordable, the value of used equipment is going to spike. We saw this during the pandemic supply chain crisis. Remember when a used tractor was selling for more than a new one because you couldn't get a new one? Get ready for round two. But this time, it's not because of a chip shortage. It's because of an affordability crisis. If a new planter costs $400,000, suddenly that 5-year-old planter in your barn looks a lot more valuable. Farmers will stop trading in their equipment. They will hold on to it. They will repair it. Repair is the new buy. This will create a massive bubble in the used equipment market. Short term, this might feel good. Hey, my old tractor is worth more. But be careful. This is a trap. Because while the asset value is up, the maintenance cost is about to explode. As dealerships consolidate and close, finding parts will become a nightmare. Finding a qualified technician will be like finding gold. The labor rate for repairs is going to shoot up. So you are stuck holding an aging machine that is getting more expensive to fix every day. And if you try to sell it to upgrade, good luck finding a new one that doesn't come with a tariff surcharge. This creates a frozen market. Nobody buys. Nobody sells. Everyone just holds on and prays nothing breaks. It creates stagnation. And stagnation is the enemy of innovation and efficiency. The loyalty tax. I want to talk about something emotional for a minute. Brand loyalty. For generations, farming families have been defined by the color of their paint. You are a green family, or you are a red family. It was almost like a religion. You wore the hat. You had the toy tractors on the shelf. You trusted that company. You believed that they had your back. That loyalty allowed companies like John Deere to charge a premium. You paid it because you trusted the quality and the service. But what happens when that company packs up and moves to Mexico? What happens when they lay off the workers in Waterloo and Dubuque, your neighbors, your cousins, and then they turn around and try to sell you a Mexican-made tractor for an American-made price? That is the loyalty tax. They are banking on the fact that you won't switch. They are banking on the fact that you are too invested in their ecosystem, their software, their GPS systems, to leave. They are holding your data hostage. This is the ultimate betrayal. They are monetizing your history. They are extracting value from your grandfather's loyalty. And honestly, it makes me angry. It should make you angry too, because loyalty should be a two-way street. And right now, all the traffic is going one way. South. Survival Guide 2025, what you must do. Okay. I've scared you enough. Now let's talk about what we do about it. We are not victims. We are farmers. We adapt. Here is your survival guide for the 2025 equipment shock. Strategy number 1, the preemptive strike. If you know you need to upgrade essential machinery in the next 24 months, do it now. Do not wait for 2025. Do not wait for the tariffs to kick in. Look at the used market today. Look at the new inventory sitting on lots right now. Dealers are currently trying to move inventory before the end of the year. Lock in your price. Lock in your interest rate. Every month you wait is a gamble with inflation. Strategy number 2, become a right-to-repair militant. The most valuable skill on a farm in 2025 won't be planting. It will be fixing. Invest in your shop. Invest in diagnostic tools. Learn how to fix the electronic systems that the manufacturers try to lock you out of. Support the right to repair legislation in your state. The more you can fix yourself, the less leverage the dealership has over you. Independence is your only shield against the loyalty tax. Strategy number 3, break the brand addiction. This is the hardest one, but you have to be willing to look at other colors. Look at brands that aren't playing these geopolitical games. Look at Kubota. Look at Mahindra. Look at brands that manufacture in countries with stable trade relations. Or, and this is controversial, look at the high-quality equipment coming out of brands you haven't considered before. Competition is the only thing that lowers prices. If you keep buying green, no matter what the price is, you are telling them it's okay to gouge you. You have to vote with your checkbook. Strategy number 4, diversify your equity. If 90% of your net worth is in iron and dirt, you are vulnerable. I know it's hard when cash is tight, but you need to find ways to move some liquidity into assets that aren't tied to the farm economy. Maybe it's treasury bonds. Maybe it's a diverse stock portfolio, not industrial stocks. You need a lifeboat that floats, when the farm economy sinks. The investor perspective. For those of you watching who aren't farmers, but are investors, maybe you hold John Deere Stock Day or Caterpillar Cat. You need to look closely at their forward guidance. Wall Street loves the efficiency of moving to Mexico. The stock might pop in the short term because margins look better on paper. But long term? If they alienate their core customer base, if they trigger a buyer's strike in the heartland, that stock is sitting on a foundation of sand. I would be very cautious about being overweight in American industrial manufacturers that are exposed to tariff wars. Look at Canadian industrials. Look at companies that have already diversified their supply chains away from the conflict zones. Conclusion: the storm is coming. We are heading into a storm. The clouds are gathering on the horizon. Tariffs, inflation, high interest rates, corporate abandonment. It is a perfect storm for the American farmer. But we have weathered storms before. The Dust Bowl, the 80 seconds farm crisis. We survived because we were tough, and because we were smart. The era of blind loyalty is over. The era of the company man is over. In 2025, you have to be a mercenary for your own family. You have to be ruthless with your numbers. You have to be skeptical of promises from Washington and Moline. Don't let them tax your loyalty. Don't let them bankrupt your future. Protect your farm. Protect your legacy. And tell them, if you want my money, earn it. Don't just expect it. Now, I want to hear from you. I want you to go down to the comments right now and tell me, if John Deere moves your favorite tractor line to Mexico and the price still goes up, will you still buy it? Or is that the final straw? Will you switch to Case or Kubota? Or will you just keep rebuilding your old 4020 until it falls apart? I want to know where you draw the line, because they are watching, and they need to hear your voice. This equipment crisis is just one piece of the puzzle. There is another input cost that is about to explode, and nobody is talking about it. Fertilizer. The global phosphate and nitrogen markets are flashing red. If you think tractor prices are scary, wait until you see what's happening to fertilizer for the 2025 planting season. I've done a deep dive investigation into the coming fertilizer shortage. It is critical information for your planning. Click right here to watch the 2025 fertilizer shock. Do not go into planting season blind. Click the video. I'll see you there. You've seen the videos. You've seen the headlines. Retire in the Pacific Northwest for under $1,900 a month. It sounds like a dream. Beautiful mountains, serene rivers, a quiet life, escaping the chaos of the big cities. But what happens when that dream becomes a nightmare? What happens when you save $300 a month on rent only to face a $50,000 bill for a life flight helicopter? A bill that lands because the hospital in your cheap new town is little more than a stabilization clinic? Welcome to the reality check. I'm here to tell you what other channels won't. My job isn't to sell you a dream. It's to protect you from a bad investment. And moving in retirement is the biggest investment you have left. Other videos sell you the wallet. They show you the rent, the groceries, the utility bills. They forget to tell you about the vital signs and the grit. They hide the fine print. So today, we are going to do something different. We are going to take that popular list of 10 cheap Pacific Northwest towns. The same list you've seen everywhere, but we are going to run them through the 2025 survival filter. This isn't just about money. This is about your life. Our filter has 3 layers. Number 1, the wallet. What is the real inflation-adjusted cost for 2025? Is that $1,900 budget based on the 2025 Social Security average even realistic anymore? Number 2, the vital signs. This is the most critical metric. What is the trauma level of the nearest hospital? Is it a level 2 powerhouse that can handle a stroke, or a level 4 clinic that just calls a helicopter? For a senior, this is a non-negotiable question. And number 3, the grit. What is the hidden trade-off? What are the daily realities they hide in the B-roll? The industrial smells, the wildfire smoke, the isolation, or the crime statistics? Is a town cheap because it's a smart, hidden bargain? Or is it cheap because it's dangerous, isolated, and inconvenient? By the end of this video, you will have the real map. Not the tourist map, the survival map. Let's begin the countdown. Number 10, Moses Lake, Washington. This is the poster child for affordable Washington. They call it an oasis in the high desert of the Columbia Basin. It's got the most sunshine in the state, which sounds great if you're escaping the Seattle gray. It's built around a massive lake, so the appeal is obvious. Boating, fishing, sunshine. On the surface, it looks like a bargain. But let's run the 2025 wallet check. That sub $1,000 rent you saw in the original video, it's evaporating. As of late 2024, expect to pay closer to $1,050 for a clean, safe one-bedroom. Let's add in utilities, which are reasonable in central Washington, around $170. Food, holding at the $500 baseline. Transportation, around $600. Your all-in total is realistically coming in around $1,780 a month. It still fits the $1,900 budget, so the wallet check passes, just barely. Now, for the vital signs. This is where Moses Lake does surprisingly okay. The local hospital, Samaritan Healthcare, is a designated Level 3 trauma center. Let me explain what that means. A Level 3 center is not a small-town clinic. It means they have surgeons and emergency care specialists available 24/7. They can handle most serious emergencies, major car accidents, falls, and can stabilize you for a stroke or heart attack. They have an agreement to transfer you to a Level 1 center in Seattle or Spokane, but they can handle the initial crisis. For a town this size, a Level 3 hospital is a solid B+ grade. So, the wallet fits and the vitals are decent. What's the grit? There are 2. First, while the vitals are decent, the crime statistics are not. Property crime in Moses Lake is significantly higher than the national average. This is not a place where you leave your doors unlocked or your tools in the yard. You are trading big city prices for small town property crime. Second, that beautiful lake. In the peak of summer, it's prone to significant algae blooms. This creates a memorable smell. It's the smell of decaying organic matter, and on hot days, it blankets the town. Moses Lake is an oasis with a fence. The healthcare is acceptable for most seniors, but the trade-off is high property crime and a summer stench. If you can handle that, it's a B- on the survival scale. Number 9, Lewiston, Idaho. Our first stop in Idaho. Locals call it the banana belt of the state because its low elevation at the convergence of the Snake and Clearwater rivers gives it a much milder climate. It's a haven for those who want the low taxes of Idaho without the brutal winters of Idaho Falls. Let's check the wallet. Lewiston is still very affordable. A one-bedroom can be found for around $950. Utilities are a bit higher, around $177. Food at $500. Transportation at $61. Your total is $1,755 a month. The wallet check is a solid pass. Now, the vital signs. St. Joseph Regional Medical Center is the local provider. It is also a Level 3 trauma center. Just like Moses Lake, this is a strong showing. It's a 132-bed hospital, it can handle serious conditions, and it serves a huge rural area in both Idaho and Washington. You are in good hands for most emergencies. So, the wallet is great, and the vitals are strong. You know what's coming, the grit. There is one massive, unavoidable trade-off in Lewiston. It's called the Lewiston Smell. The town is home to the Potlatch-Deltic Pulp and Paper Mill. On days when the wind is wrong, the entire valley is filled with a sulfurous, industrial odor. Locals who have lived there for 50 years will tell you it's the smell of money. I am telling you it's the smell of hydrogen sulfide. If you have a sensitive nose, or a respiratory condition like asthma or COPD, this is a non-starter. You cannot escape it. Lewiston is a fantastic bargain. It has a mild climate and a good hospital. But you must be willing to live with a persistent, industrial odor. It's a great choice. For someone with no sense of smell, number 8, Roseburg, Oregon. Heading south into Oregon. Roseburg is a town of 23,000 inches the Umpqua River Valley. This is timber country, and it feels like it. It's known for its wineries, its Land of Umpqua slogan, and its deep red politics, which stands in stark contrast to Portland. Let's check the wallet. The original video nailed this one. Rent is still very low. A one-bedroom average is $925. Utilities around $174. Food, $500. Transportation, $56. The total comes to $1,715 a month. A very strong pass for the wallet. Now, the vital signs. Roseburg is home to Mercy Medical Center. And again, it's a Level 3 trauma center. We are 3 for 3 on decent hospitals. This facility is a 174-bed hospital and serves as the medical hub for all of Douglas County. You are well covered for the vast majority of medical emergencies. So, what's the grit? The grit here isn't industrial. It's environmental. Roseburg is in southern Oregon, which has become the epicenter of wildfire season. We're not just talking about the risk of evacuation, though that is real. We're talking about the smoke season, which can last for weeks, sometimes months, from July through September. This isn't just hazy, this is air quality index 300, hazardous level smoke. If you are a senior with asthma, COPD, or any pulmonary issue, this is a serious, life-threatening risk. You will be a prisoner in your home with air purifiers blasting for a significant portion of the summer. Roseburg is affordable, and the hospital is solid, but you are trading the risk of urban chaos for the annual, predictable risk of wildfire smoke. If you have strong lungs, it's a bargain. If you don't, this clean air paradise could be what kills you. Number 7. Longview, Washington. Back to Washington, just 50 miles north of Portland. The original video called this Portland Light and said its reputation was improving. Let's check the wallet. The numbers are identical to Roseburg. Rent at $980. Utilities at $171. Food at $500. Transportation at $58. Total, $1,714 a month. A great price, especially given its proximity to a major city. The vital signs. Peace Health Street John Medical Center. It's a level trace trauma center. This is another solid, reliable hospital that can handle critical situations. And you have the added benefit of being only an hour's drive if there's no traffic from the level 1 centers in Portland. Medically, this is a very safe bet. So, the wallet is cheap and the vitals are strong. The grit must be significant. And it is. The original video downplayed this. Let's be blunt. Longview is Portland's shadow. It's close enough to Portland to be affordable, but it's also close enough to inherit Portland's problems. The grit here is the social spillover. The I-5 corridor is a well-known channel. Homelessness, open drug use, and property crime are not just big city problems anymore. They are serious, daily issues in Longview. The original video said the crime rate improved from 168% above the national average to only 62% above. That is not a victory. That is still incredibly high. Longview is cheap because it's gritty. You get excellent healthcare access for the price. But the trade-off is a high level of social dysfunction that is moving north from Portland. It's a fixer-upper town, and you have to decide if you want to be part of that renovation in your 70 seconds. Number 6. Tillamook, Oregon. This is the one. This is the one that truly worries me, and it should worry you. On paper, it's the Oregon coast dream. Rent at $910? On the coast? Unheard of. You've got the famous cheese factory, the ocean air, the dramatic cliffs. But this isn't a bargain. This is a trap. Let's check the wallet. Rent, $910. Utilities, $172. Food, $500. Transportation, $56. Total, $1,702 a month. The wallet check passes. Now, let's check the vital signs. This is the most important part of this entire video. The hospital is Adventist Health Tillamook. Our fact check confirms it is a level 4 trauma center. Let me be perfectly crystal clear about what level 4 means. It is a critical access hospital. It is designed to stabilize you. And that is all. It is a 25-bed facility. Their job is to stop the bleeding and call the helicopter. If you have a heart attack, if you have a stroke, if you have a serious fall, you are not being treated in Tillamook. You are being flown to a level 1 center in Portland. And that's if the weather is good. We are talking about the Oregon coast. In the winter, storms and fog are relentless. Helicopters cannot fly in those conditions. If you have a stroke on a foggy Tuesday in January, you will be taken by ambulance. You will be driven over the Coast Range Mountains on winding, 2-lane roads. That is a 90-minute to 2-hour drive. That is well outside the golden hour for stroke or heart attack treatment. You are gambling with your life. The grit here isn't just the smell of cow manure from the dairy farms. The grit is lethal isolation. Oh, and the entire town is sitting in a tsunami and major river flood zone. This is the single most dangerous town on this list for a senior to move to. It's cheap because your life is the trade-off. If you have any pre-existing health conditions, especially cardiac, moving here is a fatal mistake. Avoid it. Number 5. Yakima, Washington. Back to the sunshine of Central Washington. 300 days of sun, a booming wine and craft beer scene, and cheap apples. It's the agricultural heart of the state, the wallet. Rent is still holding cheap at $900. Utilities, $171. Food, $500. Transportation, $59. Total, $1,691 a month. The wallet check is a solid pass. The vital signs. Yakima's healthcare is surprisingly strong. Virginia Mason Memorial, formerly Yakima Valley Memorial, is a robust Level 3 trauma center. This isn't just a basic hospital. It's the main medical hub for the entire region. It's a 238-bed facility with a 27-bed critical care unit. This is a huge, huge plus. You are medically very safe here. So, the wallet is great and the vitals are excellent. The grit must be bad. And it is. The original video hinted at this by saying it never tried to reinvent itself. Let's translate that. Yakima has a well-documented, long-standing, and serious gang problem. While the downtown area has been revitalized, you cannot ignore the statistics. Yakima's violent crime rate is consistently one of the highest in the state, often rivaling places like Tacoma. The 2024 coroner's report for Yakima County listed 24 homicides, 20 of them from gunshot wounds. This is not a statistic you can ignore. Yakima is a paradox. It offers some of the best, most affordable healthcare on this list. It also offers some of the highest violent crime. You are buying safety by choosing the right zip code, street by street. You can find peace here, but you must be extremely careful about exactly where you land. Number 4. Pendleton, Oregon. 3.5 hours east of Portland. This is the real, unpolished Wild West. Home of the famous Pendleton Roundup Rodeo. It's a town of 17,000 people that feels proud, tough, and isolated. The wallet. Rent is fantastic. $895. Utilities, $172. Food, $500. Transportation, $67. It's higher. You have to drive everywhere. Total, $1,688 a month. Passes the wallet check with ease. The vital signs. The local hospital is Street Anthony. And like Tillamook, this is another Level 4 trap. Street Anthony Hospital is a Level 4 trauma center. It is a 25-bed critical access facility. Again, this is a stabilization clinic. If you are seriously ill, you are being flown or driven. Where to? The nearest Level 2 center is in Richland, Washington, over an hour away, or Boise, Idaho, over 3 hours away. This is high-stakes gambling. The grit here is profound, unadulterated isolation. This town isn't near anything. The economy is based on agriculture, the state prison, and the rodeo. It's beautiful, but it is empty. This is our second do not recommend. A Level 4 hospital this far from a major city is a medical gamble. This town is for the young, the healthy, and the self-reliant. By definition, most retirees are not all three. Number 3. La Grande, Oregon. Just down the road from Pendleton, in the same corner of Eastern Oregon. It's a small, cozy college town, home of Eastern Oregon University, tucked into the beautiful Blue Mountains. The Wallet. This is one of the cheapest on the list. Rent averages a stunningly low $823. Utilities, $170. Food, $500. Transportation, $59. Total, $1,617 a month. An absolute win for the Wallet. The vital signs. The hospital is Grande Ronde, and for the third time, it is a Level 4 trauma center. Do you see the pattern? Cheap rent often equals poor medical access. You are saving $500 a month on rent, but you are placing yourself hours away from a cardiologist or a neurosurgeon. But the grit in La Grande is even worse. It's the weather, combined with the poor medical access. This isn't just snow. This is high elevation, Eastern Oregon winter. The I-84 freeway, which is your only lifeline out, goes over a pass called Cabbage Hill. It is one of the most dangerous, treacherous stretches of interstate in America, and it frequently closes. When that pass is closed, you are not getting to a bigger hospital in Pendleton or Richland. The town becomes a beautiful, frozen prison. Our third, do not recommend. A Level 4 hospital in a town that gets snowed in is a potentially fatal combination. The savings are not worth the risk. Number 2, Idaho Falls, Idaho. Now we're talking. This is where the list gets serious, in a good way. Idaho Falls is a hub of 67,000 people on the Snake River. It's the gateway to Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. It has a strong economy, thanks to the Idaho National Laboratory. The Wallet. The original video's numbers were $795 for rent. Those days are gone. The secret is out. Idaho Falls is one of the fastest growing towns in America. A more realistic 2025 rent is $950. Utilities, $167. Food, $500. Groceries are cheaper here, but we'll keep the baseline. Transportation, $61. Total, $1,678 a month. The cost has gone up, but it still easily clears the $1,900 budget. Now, the vital signs. This is the good news. Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center, or EIRMC. Our fact check confirms it is a Level 2 trauma center. This is outstanding. This is what you are looking for. A Level 2 center is just one step below a major university hospital. It means they have a comprehensive burn center, a top-tier heart center, and neurosurgeons on staff 24/7. This is by far the best hospital on this list. You can have a stroke in Idaho Falls and be confident you are getting world-class care, fast. So, what's the grit? 2 things. 1, it is brutally, painfully, soul-crushingly cold in the winter. We're not talking snow. We're talking negative 20 degrees. You must be prepared for a real, harsh winter. 2, the culture. It is a wonderful, friendly, and safe community. But it is dominated by the LDS Church. This is not a good thing or a bad thing. It is a fact. If you are not LDS, you will be a cultural minority, and it can be difficult for some people to integrate and find a social circle. This is the first town on this list I can seriously, enthusiastically recommend from a safety perspective. You are trading warm weather and cultural diversity for a hospital that can actually save your life, all on a budget. That is a very smart trade. Number 1, Pocatello, Idaho. Just 50 miles south of Idaho Falls. Pocatello is the cheapest town on our list. It's a mid-sized university town, home of Idaho State University. The Wallet. Rent is still incredibly low. You can find a one-bedroom for $750. Utilities, $167. Food, $500. Transportation, $61. Your grand total, $1,539 a month. That leaves you almost $400 in headroom on your Social Security check. Financially, it is the undisputed champion. Now, the vital signs. Surely, it must be a medical desert, right? Wrong. Portneuf Medical Center is also a Level 2 trauma center. This is incredible. It's a new, state-of-the-art facility. This means the two cheapest towns on the entire list have the two best hospitals. You have two options for world-class emergency care within a 50-mile radius. This is the hidden secret of Eastern Idaho. Cheap living and excellent health care. So, what's the grit? Why is it so cheap? Because Pocatello has a reputation. It's not pretty. This is not Jackson Hole. This is not Sun Valley. It's an old, gritty industrial railroad town that feels stuck in time, as the original video said. And it has a crime problem. It's been ranked as one of the most dangerous cities in Idaho, which is a low bar. But still, the issue, sitting on the I-15, I-86 interchange, is property crime and drug trafficking. It doesn't have the same safe, clean feel as Idaho Falls. Pocatello is the ultimate brutal truth bargain. It is the cheapest town with the best healthcare. But to get that bargain, you have to live in a gritty town and lock your doors. For my money, it's a much better bet than living in a pretty town like Tillamook and gambling with your life. You can buy a better lock. You can't buy a new heart. The final verdict. A new map of risk. So, let's throw out the old list. The original list was about money. Our new list is about survival. We have discovered 3 medical deserts that I believe are dangerous and should be avoided by seniors with any health concerns. Number say, Tillamook, Oregon. Number 4, Pendleton, Oregon. And number 3, La Grande, Oregon. Their level 4 hospitals are a critical, life-threatening risk. We also found several high-grit towns where you trade personal safety for savings. Number 7, Longview, with its social spillover. Number 5, Yakima, with its gang violence. And number 10, Moses Lake, with its high property crime. And finally, we found 2 survival champions. Number 2, Idaho Falls, Idaho. And number 1, Pocatello, Idaho. They are cold, they are gritty, but they have level 2 trauma centers, and they are affordable. The Pacific Northwest is not the retirement paradise it's sold as. It's a series of trade-offs. Today, we've given you the real price tag. You have to ask yourself, what kind of trade-off are you willing to make? Are you willing to trade safety for scenery? Or are you willing to trade warm weather for a hospital that can save your life? The choice is yours. But now, you have the data to make it.